what happened. This is like when you think of like Donald Trump and then how he's been like haphazardly signing executive orders at an unprecedented rate with any lack of like consideration of what any of those actions mean. That is sort of like the best comparison. I was thinking about that this morning, and most specifically, these, you know, we were assured that things were going to be different this time, right? This is despite having like hyper edited the powers document for the judges. Yet, once again, they've sort of overextended. The crazy thing is, we have the entire discussion over the fucking paragraph, over the notion that like things cannot just be like thrown into the penal code haphazardly. You need to write legislation around it. Number one, notwithstanding its role play, right? Notwithstanding its role play. The police department investigates something. They present it to the DOJ. They present it to the mayors. In turn, one of those legislative authorities pushes changes through legislation to illegalize whatever it is. That allows the PD to RP, it lets the civilians RP. It's a system that was put forward to us. But instead, that is ignored. And instead, you've got a couple bozos at the top. This is a perspective Nino has, right? Who sort of just pull out of their ass what is illegal and what isn't illegal. And it makes for an extremely awkward situation because it's like, where are you deriving any of this knowledge? Like, is it because somebody's saying that, like, let's say jump boots are from the cargo ship? The cargo ship is just illegal, and therefore we're just gonna ban all jump boots? That is honestly one of the most like idiotic sort of arguments, and it's one that is gonna be fucking weird as fuck to even argue in roleplay, right? But even from the premise of like ignoring all of that, both mayors were told that the penal code was only going to be changed, like the fines and times. No one had an issue with that. And then out of the blue, a bunch of new charges come into play. No discussion with the public, no discussion with anybody, and it's shoehorned in. Now, the thing that is, I think, the most frustrating thing about it, it is so asinine because by that very action, it circumvents the entire legislative system. Fuck writing legislation, just make something illegal by throwing it up on the penal code. It's actually brain dead. So rightfully, people are going to be upset. And the mayor's going to have to address it. Right? And it's hard to kind of like chop it up in any other kind of way because I don't think it's inherently malicious intentionally, but it's fucking devoid of the proper amount of effort, I think. And that's what makes engaging in this very difficult. And I think what makes it very engaging right off the get is, you know, past experience. You know, the mayor addresses the public, lets them know that, hey, we're looking into this. We don't actually believe that this is legal. And immediately it's just like crying. I don't know how else to explain it. How do you even begin a conversation off that, right? So I fundamentally think the problem is it's a lack of understanding of the basics of what our system is designed on. It's ignoring state official letters. It's ignoring a lot of the clarification that has been made numerous times, not just by our office, but, you know, the entities that put all the shit together. So it leaves it like, you know, it's kind of leaves a bit of a distaste in your mouth because it's not honest. It's so dishonest under the guise of honesty. So I mean, I want you to like draw a simple parallel, right? We spent the last fucking 3 months updating our legislative documents to make it fair for every party to introduce new laws and changes, right? It allows the DOJ to do it. It lets the SAMA do it. It lets both the mayors do it. It allows the public to weigh in, for law enforcement to weigh in, everybody to weigh in. And counters in place that if something isn't going well, people can... And the entire thing is circumvented over sort of a abuse of language is probably the best way to kind of put it. But you know, how many times is that conversation going to be had? You can only beat a donkey so many times. Yeah. So it's very slimy. I mean, like I said, they tried to suggest that we were made aware of these things. Neither me and Mumbles knew anything about it. The document the information that we were given was only fine in time changes. And then magically the other things show up. Like I said, it's fucking gruesome. It completely destabilizes the system, right? So it's you know, just haphazardly. Oh, by the way, because the thing is, we've already had this situation with helicopter repair kits and medical stuff. So I don't know where you begin with this. The idiotic thing, though, is the lack of understanding that this is 6 people versus the entire city. Because Mumbles and Nino represents everybody else. Right? And to go back and say, well, we're going to alter the changes because someone spoke to us. No, that's why there's a fucking legislative process. The legislative process is where the review takes place. So when you introduce this, someone can come in and say, well, you have to change that because PNY cards are gotten through running legal G6 that requires you to be a civilian. But by just jamming it in and saying, oh, we're just changing it. Like literally you're now making it so that the DOJ, it's actually retarded. Where the DOJ, I don't know how they're arriving at this. Like, I wonder where this is, how you could be this cooked, if I'm going to be honest. Where, you know, okay, sure, you can change some of this stuff, right? Someone talked to us, okay, we're going to change the wording. Bruh. So fuck case law, fuck legislation, we'll just change it on the fly. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is the point of the system, then? Like I said, it's a tough one because it's so fucking obvious how cooked it is. All right, but anyways, we're all right. So as of last night, Nino, given all of this, Nino's just like, fuck it. I am literally wasting my time. It's a waste of time. Once again, we're dealing with DOJ acting like gods, not including others in conversation, yet demanding they're not the ones being spoken to. I'm sick of this. Fuck this shit. And then all of a sudden, Nino gets the rifle blueprints. Enough to make 50 firearms. And more to come after that. With the faceless saying it's time to tear it all down. And Nino's like, you know what? Maybe that is the way to do it. Just deputize all the gangs. I think the best way to summarize it is Nino is done doing it the right way. Yeah. All right, let me take a look at this. So I'm going to slap this up right now. Right to own and possess material property. This act ensures private ownership rights and prevents unlawful deprivation of legally owned possessions. Act protecting individuals from unjust deprivation of property. Upholding the constitutional right to lawful ownership. The authority over property regulations. All possessions, including monetary and crypto, shall be presumed legal unless explicitly recognized. Explicitly does not How do I write this in words, man? The problem is that now words are getting bastardized. So, all possessions, including money, recognition explicitly does not include. Accompanying legislation. State or county legislation. That needs to be written better, though. The fact that I gotta write it this way is fucking... makes me want to fucking jump out of my chair. Let me see. Wait a minute, I just realized something. I can literally make the argument that all of these changes were put in illegally. Hold on. Wait, none of this should be in there. Hold up. Wait, they never even pushed this forward. What is happening? Wait. Bruh. This hasn't been updated. Okay, hold on. Am I tripping? Wait, how did that pull up? I'm so confused. I know I'm in reports. The reports has the right one. Why does this one not have it? Legislative proposal and approval process. Yeah, am I tripping out? Okay, whatever. Who cares? I'll look at that later. This is gonna be so shit. Here's my hesitation with writing this. My hesitation for this is gonna affect older other possession charges. But the problem is now I gotta write it this way because otherwise this is so shit. The problem is that this has created such a fucking shit show. Literally, we gotta legalize everything. No, so okay. Because of this shit show, no, I'm gonna give you an example. Then, what makes class 1? I don't know. There's probably gonna be charges in here that we're not trying to affect that are gonna get inadvertently affected. This is the problem with doing shit backwards, man.